Welcome to the I Hate Critics Movie Review Podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. Jeff's here.
Oh, hey, yeah. We should have done a bit where we were all pretending to be each other, like in Freakier Friday.
He switched bodies with Bob.
Hey. Back again.
Your wife is deeply confused.
So am I. Not as confused as me.
Whole lot of stuff Bob's never done before.
How do you know?
I was just going to say, well, Sean, you know.
When Happy Gilmore 2 came out.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that's on Netflix, so.
I didn't have to see it.
Yeah. Well, no, if I ever, I can only watch it at home. I'll never be able to sit through the whole thing.
I actually have all the Subway cups. I was going to bring them tonight and give them to you as a gift, but I forgot.
Oh, was it good? Did you enjoy it?
The only fun thing about it wasn't even good. It was just it's so predictable when Jack Nicholas is in it, and he orders a half lemonade, half iced tea, and it goes Arnold Palmer. He goes like, "No, Jack Nicholas." Good airplane joke, but that was the finest thing in the movie.
I thought Jack Nicholas was dead, so.
Yeah.
But it was somehow worse than like the other Adam Sandler. It's just so even safer than normal.
Did they dig up or did they use Drew Carey instead of Bob Barker?
No.
That would have been too clever.
Everybody's back. They kill off Julie Bowen like instantly.
They kill her off?
Spoiler alert.
Seriously?
She did all this press for it. She dies instantly.
Wow. So what, they got like a 20-year-old younger? 20 years
No,
younger?
they go flashbacks to her. There's no love interest after that. But no, I mean, it's just like him and Shooter McGavin are on the same team this time and blah, blah, blah.
Wow. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to sit through that. Thank you, Netflix. You continue. They've taken Tyler Perry and Adam Sandler, and even parts of Gerard Butler have gone directly to them. So I can't thank them enough for saving my movie going.
Also, you can thank me for refusing to subscribe to that.
I would have done the show last week if we were.
Our special Adam Sandler correspondent joining us.
Now that you're so close to my place, you can just see one thing and come shoot up here on Monday afternoons or something. So
yeah, especially Monday's work actually pretty decent.
Hey, Bob's back.
I got everybody. That's the crappy part. Where I live is half an hour from every like the Galesburg is as close as that. That was actually the furthest theater.
Where you work is about 15 minutes. So just tell your wife to meet you.
Well, I need to go without her more often because we'll get to it, but she is not fun to watch movies with.
Yeah, I love going alone. Honestly, like I was talking to somebody I was working out of town last week, and it came up that we were doing the podcast, and I said, "Oh yeah," I said Thursday I think I'm going to go see Weapons, and I said I want to see Weapons. I wasn't sure I was going to get to see it until today, but I was like, we do a movie podcast. But, I love to go to the movies, but I can never get anybody to go with. I'm like, go by yourself. It is. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have to like.
That dreaded thing where somebody says, "Oh, I'll go," and then you've got to coordinate what time to meet them and pick them up or drive somebody, and you got to find a time that works for both of you. Like, forget it.
And then you get past the first time where if you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
After that, it's which even I never really was bothered then.
Mm-hmm.
I even was like, I'm going to eat by myself, and everybody's like, "That's weird."
This was a while back, but I went to eat by myself. I went to a brunch thing, and I was hungry, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I was still in Chicago, so it's been a while. But this couple sat at the table next to me, and they were on their phones. They were just like the whole time they were on their phones. They took pictures of their meal and they ate. As they were eating, they were both scrolling their phones. And the one was like, I don't know how you can go out to eat by yourself, to me, as they were leaving. I'm like, You just did. You just had a complete meal all by yourself in your phone, so I don't know.
I love looking when I'm out today with my family and just looking at three people like this.
Yeah. I always say, are you guys texting each other about me?
I should use that.
Or just get up and leave the table and see if they notice.
Go get your own table.
Somehow always backfires, though. I'm the dick.
We're reducing Bob's life to Everybody Loves Raymond.
What about Bob? That's what we can title this episode. What about Bob?
We forget to talk about movies.
It's just a therapy session.
Yeah.
Bob is on my couch right now, and well, such as it is.
That's funny you mentioned that. On the 95 podcast, we've got coming up in 2 weeks on that one, the Brothers McMullen, and it's just like an advertisement for better health. It's like, just if these guys had just gone to therapy, they wouldn't even need to make the movie.
Because I was working out of town and I was traveling a lot the last 2 weeks, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and it basically comes down to, if this woman got therapy, this book wouldn't need to exist. And that goes for the characters and the authors in some cases.
Amy's been on a roll coaster. The next episode that we're gonna, whenever you get a chance to post it, she has figured out all of history and boiled it down to just men trying to find other things they can fuck.
Pretty much.
That's the entire discovery of the world, the discovery of invention. I need to start riding this horse so I can get to another village so I can find something to fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a car now because I can then drive to another village to find something to fuck.
Yeah, my entire weekend would have been a lot different if I wasn't going.
I don't know why this popped in my head. I have a Quip toothbrush which vibrates, whatever. For whatever reason, it'll just turn on its own.
Yeah.
My wife was in the shower. My son walked by, and also my toothbrush goes on. He opens it and goes, "Really, right now?"
Jesus Christ!
Right in front of my salad. Have you guys seen that meme? It's old, but it's just from like gay porn, and there's a girl eating a salad at the little breakfast bar thing, and the guys start fucking like on the other side of the island, and she's like, "Really, right in front of my salad?" So if I ever say that to you guys, you know, now you know what it is.
That's not Thousand Island dressing.
No,
Oh,
it's creamy ranch,
oh no.
creamy branch.
Medium.com/RealScope for my writing stuff. I did a new opening shots column this week all about the opening scene from Night of the Hunter starring Robert Mitchum, which is an incredible film. If you haven't watched Night of the Hunter, it's just so awesome. And Charles Laughton directed only one movie his entire career, but it was this one, and he nailed it completely. And he's just by being blunt, just by being exceptionally blunt. And so few movies are that straightforward. And I really loved especially the opening scene where he's drawing a very clear parallel. Like literally the children are angels in the sky and Robert Mitchum is a devil down below. It's great. Check it out. And of course, read my article at medium.com/RealScope. Yes, it is behind a paywall because I'd like to get paid for what I do. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of getting paid, Freakier Friday didn't quite get paid as much as they wanted to over the weekend, around $29 million, far behind the number one movie in America, which we will get to, which I was surprised to see how well that marketing campaign worked, but it definitely worked. But Jeff, tell us about Freaky Friday. Freakier Friday.
Freakier Friday, it's just Freaky Friday with an extra person.
Two people.
I guess.
Come on. No. They freshened it up a little bit.
So I watched the original, not the original, but I watched the second one with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan for the first time the other day. And basically it's a body swap comedy. I think everybody who's listening to this knows about the concept.
Sure.
Well, this time Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, they do not switch bodies. They switch bodies with the two daughters and stepdaughters, and hilarity ensues.
Yes.
As they try to break up a wedding. And
Lindsay Lohan is getting married. Her character, Anna, She's Anna. She's getting married. Her mom is Tess. They've got the new boyfriend, soon to be husband, has his own daughter who doesn't want to live in America. She wants to go back to London, but they're trying to decide where to live. And the girls, obviously, one wants to live in Los Angeles where she can surf every day. The other wants to go home to England. So they decide once they get into this body swap situation, they're going to break up their parents and end the marriage, and then they can both go where they want. Obviously, they're going to learn the lesson of working together and loving each other as a family. And yes, it's all very simple, but I never stopped smiling this entire movie. The entire way through, I was smiling from beginning to end.
Well, I was yawning because I was very tired. Not because of the movie. It wasn't the movie's fault. I was very tired, but I kept like the first probably 20 minutes of it reminded me of if you put the opening to Clueless into Chat GTP and just said, copy this for 2025. And the enshittification of Clueless. The first 20 minutes I was like, oh. But, and it's a big but, at the end of it, I really ended up enjoying it because of the performances. Everybody was really good in it, especially Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I wasn't expecting much because in the first one, oh my God, I'm the Crypt Keeper was like probably, make good choices. Probably her biggest lines. And she does have, some poignant scenes in that one. But in this one, she really sells everything. She sells the fact that she's being a 15-year-old girl. She sells the fact that she just can't abide the fact that she's in a 70-year-old body, which leads to a bunch of funny scenes. Lindsay Lohan is incredibly good in this movie. You realize how much you've missed her over the years since she's been gone. And, I actually bought her as a 40-year-old single mom. She just effortlessly stepped back into the role.
Mm-hmm.
I did think that there were a few times where they just repeated stuff from the first one, like almost verbatim.
Sure.
And that kind of pulled me out a couple times, but other than that, like the scenes with Chad Michael Montgomery or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a country singer, isn't it?
John Michael Montgomery.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But those were really cute. When she keeps like holding up the records and stuff in the record store, I was just, all right, that's pretty funny. And they're all faces. It's all like, it's just that was really, really well done. There were a couple things, like I said, repeating. I'm a homosexual. Okay. But why during the food fight was somebody just waving a rainbow flag, and then literally inserting it into the frame and pulling it out, inserting it into the frame and pulling it out? I'm like,
it's amazing.
I'm like, what the fuck? What? They'd had no context whatsoever. If they'd had like a militant lesbian, like in Mean Girls, like Janice Ian, if they'd had a militant lesbian character in this, sure, that would have, going, just sticking it in there. But I was going, what the fuck? Why are they doing that? That was like that. Other than that, I actually enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the target demographic, but Jamie Lee Curtis, she was better in this than I think she was even in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like some of her like notes in the performance.
Let's slow down just a little bit
right there. I think some of her bits were better than some of her bits in that.
I just watched that last week, so I mean, I can't.
Oh, okay, I haven't watched that since it came out, but I thought she was like some of the emotions she was playing were really, really, really well done for a Disney movie like this.
I got choked up. I did. I was choked up by the scene. There's a scene where Lindsay Lohan has written a song. Her daughter finds out about this song and assumes it's about Chad Michael Murray's character because it is kind of vague in the lyrics about baby this and whatnot. But then Lindsay tells her that I actually wrote this song about you because I don't care about giving up being a rock star. Didn't matter to me. I wanted to be a mom, and it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll watch it again, but I will
never see it again. But
I will recommend it if somebody's like, somebody asks me, what did you think? I'll be like, oh, I think it's worth seeing, But again, I'm not in all the target demographic, but I thought the younger actors were really good too.
I think they've done this enough. They don't need to do it again. I don't know why I think Jamie Lee Curtis was kidding about a third film, but I hope she was kidding.
Yeah,
there's nothing to do. There's no.
Well, if they don't learn a lesson the next time, then they could do something different. They just go through the whole thing and like, what the fuck?
Or Jamie Lee Curtis is like 80 and her character dies while they're swapped, and the other one has to live.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. That would be interesting.
What do I do? What do I do? I'm a corpse. Oh my God.
No, you're just dead, actually. You're just gone.
Yeah.
But Jamie Lee Curtis gets to live on in another
right? Oh my God. I'm a 12-year-old girl again.
Man, that reminded me of this. There was this god-awful David Duchovny movie a few years ago where his wife and his daughter get in an accident, and the daughter ends up in the wife's the wife ends up in the daughter's body.
Oh my God.
And so the wife is like, she's a teenager again, and she was the best friend in Juno. You remember her? And so she's like flirting with her husband as his daughter.
Kind of want you to stop.
Now, if you'd said that there was a gay couple, I would totally buy that.
Yeah, I thought I could put that in your head.
Well, I mean, I was going to go into Old Boy. I'd rather.
Oh God!
You just completely ruined incest porn for Bob.
Yeah.
Oh God! So Bob, tell us about Weapons.
I have no idea. That's what I love about it. I can't tell you anything. You guys do the synopsis, and then I can.
Weapons is directed by Zach Cregger, who of course directed Barbarian, and it's a multi-chapter story, multi-characters, various different perspectives, a little bit of Paul Thomas Anderson, a little bit of Quentin Tarantino in that terms of the structure. And it tells the story of 17 little kids who got up at 2:17 a.m. One morning and just ran off, and nobody knows why. Their teacher, played by Julia Garner, is initially suspected. People want to know, what did she say in class that caused this? And then you have Josh Brolin as the father of one of the missing kids. And he's obsessed with following Julia Garner around, trying to see what she knows about where his son is. And that goes a unique direction. Then you've got Alden Ehrenreich and a guy playing a junkie. Ehrenreich's a cop. And they have a couple of encounters that are really great. The whole thing is that it's a movie that invites you to theorize about it, but I honestly don't think it means anything, and that's fine. That's the weirdest thing.
It's very straightforward when you break it down.
Right. I'm the guy who looks for extra meaning in everything. I'm the guy who tries to assign a meaning. But even I'm like, this is just cool. This is just a really cool way to tell a story. There's Josh Brolin has this scene where he's having a nightmare, and he sees an AR-15 in the sky for some reason. And it's an invitation to just start speculating to school shootings, missing. I get it. No. That is almost like a red herring almost.
Yeah.
Because it's really just about telling a cool campfire story.
I completely forgot about that AR-15 until you just said it, because it was it didn't mean anything. It was just one of those things you see in a dream that it's just there. So
see, if it did mean something, I almost think I would not. It's kind of like one of those movies where if he tried to tie a meaning to it, it could feed to the point where you start pulling the straws and it falls apart. But because
Eddington,
no, Magnolia,
yeah.
But no, I just instead it's just a cool, like you said, a cool way to tell a story. Some of the horror elements to it were so good.
Yeah, we're going to get into spoilers because we do need to talk about Amy Madigan, and Amy Madigan's entire character is basically a spoiler.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind if you're listening now. You want to go see Weapons. You do want to see it unspoiled.
I didn't know a thing.
Come back to this after.
I literally did not ever see a trailer. I didn't see a commercial. I didn't know who was in it. And it was like one of the best experiences I've had.
Well, and the trailer was really basically the at first 30 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
So even if you had seen the trailer, I don't think all it does is get you excited for it, but it didn't. Everybody I know went, I shouldn't say, everybody, my family went and saw it separately. Like my daughter's boyfriend went with his friends, and then she went with her friends, and then obviously my wife went. And this week, none of us gone to the movies in a long time. So it was a very well done marketing campaign, like you said.
$44 million over the weekend.
You go to the apps or whatever to book your tickets, and that's Freakier Friday at the top and Weapons at the second. So that was pretty cool. Not to take anything away from Freakier Friday, but that is pretty impressive.
Well, that was the huge, like the tent pole for the weekend. And this was supposed to be just a sleeper hit, but I mean, the word of mouth on this, I got home and I was like, I just have to like be with my people. So I went online and was like listening to people talk about it. And one thing that I had read earlier in the day was the cheese slicer is going to be the something of another movie, for 2025. And I was just like, what does that even mean? And I completely forgot about it until that moment.
I totally forgot about the cheese slicer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he does. Just slices his face off.
Yeah.
Right?
That and the knife scene from Don't Bring Her Back or whatever.
Bring Her Back.
Yep. But on top of, just some of what should be jump scares that turn into something a little like when she's sitting in her car out front of the house.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great, as good as Hereditary of the head scene. Like it was that, and it's not even that, it means something, but it's not like it shifts tone at that point like Hereditary does. But it was just one of those, you're kind of like, you relax, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's sitting in her car. It's dark outside. There's no one around. She's been waiting outside this house all day. And then suddenly the door opens up, and then slowly this like zombie-like woman comes wandering out, and like she's right there at the window, and you think she's just going to smash through the window and just start stabbing her, but she doesn't. She sneaks into the car secretly to do what she's doing, and doesn't kill her. And it's like the greatest not kill in
history. When you hear that door close, the collective gasp of the audience, which you don't hear that in movies anymore.
Yeah. Well, and you think that you're going to see what happens, and then that's when they cut away to the next story.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, no, I gotta know what happens.
And the way they pay it off is great too, because
oh my God.
Randomly something happens and you're just like, okay, what happened? And then eventually you get back around to it and you see why it happened. And I don't know. Yeah,
that the scene where she goes to Benedict Wong's house with him and his partner, and
Amy Madigan goes to Benedict Wong's house, and he's there with his boyfriend, and they're sitting down and gonna have a meal, and then here's Amy Madigan.
Looking like the love child of a circus clown and Nicolas Cage in long legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, somebody online summed it up really very real. Is long legs plus Pennywise equals Amy Madigan.
Yep, pretty much. She stole the entire fucking movie in that one scene.
So incredible.
Well, especially since the teases of her throughout up until that scene.
She just looks like a demon.
Yeah, and you barely
like
see her. You're just like, it could have just been anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now she's an active character in this movie.
Yeah.
Just an amazing choice.
Yeah, she's so Amy Madigan is so there's 17 kids and there's 18 kids in the class. Only one of them shows up for class one day. And that's Alex, who will become a very important part of the story. But his aunt, allegedly his aunt, there's a lot of theories that say that she's not related to them at all, that she's just chosen this family at random. But Amy Madigan is his aunt. She's coming to stay with them, so seemingly as she's dying. But then she just possesses these two parents and is feeding off of their life force, maybe. The movie is not specific about that, but
Yeah.
again, I love. You're just left to figure this out for yourself. He's not wasting time telling you anything. You can just figure it out for yourself.
He shows you. He doesn't
Yeah.
tell. He shows you like how her spell works.
Yeah.
That she's some sort of witch, and she goes through it while she's doing other exposition for other things, and she's doing it. You're watching, and you're figuring out how she does this and how she disappears all these kids, and they don't have to sit down and look at the camera and explain to you. And I loved that.
Yeah. So many directors lack this level of confidence.
Oh yeah. That's what's part of what made this so fun to watch. Was just that if you just don't see that. I mean, that's kind of my go-to more is whenever there's something original. That's what makes me like it more. But it just, that originality is so few and far between, unless it's, an A24 movie or a Neon or whatever, something.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good, like, original horror movies this year. That they're not IP, because IP is kind of dead with horror right now, because of all the rights issues and all that stuff. So we're not getting new Freddy, we're not getting new Jason, all of that. But some of these original stories in the last year have just been incredible. And I think this is definitely my top 10 because it's so original and such a weird idea. It doesn't explicitly come out and say, this is a story about a witch. It doesn't it doesn't say this is a story about like mass psychosis. Although the Peter Jackson bad taste ending at the end, with all the kids.
That was amazing.
Oh my God. I was just going, oh, I love it.
The pure audacity to pull that ending.
Well, just the way the kids move, or the way anybody moves. I mean, I don't know.
The little Naruto run.
I don't know whose idea that was, but it just, for whatever reason, is creepy.
Yeah.
Even when in the broad daylight runs, it's just such a...
When you see Benedict Wong do it, and his eyes are bugged out, and his face covered in blood, and you don't even know at that point what he's done.
Right. Why is he like this? What has he done? What happened? Why is he covered in blood? And
he headbutted his lover to death. Just crushed his skull with his own skull.
Yeah. While Amy Madigan sat and drank tea and watched.
Is that the scene of the year?
Possibly. And
there
I would say that
all scenes of the year. In this movie.
That's right up there with Jack O'Connell on Fire and Sinners.
One of my favorite moments, it was just like a super super short, is when Benedict Wong chases Julia Garner into the store and around the store, and then Josh Brolin tackles him, and she's getting ready to run out. The guy behind the car, get out of my store! Fucking help me! Because that's classic Julia Garner from Ozark.
Yeah,
fucking help me! And I'm like, I absolutely 100% love her. I'm so glad that, like, we had in the same year we had her in Wolfman, and we had her in this, and this is like, she's given exactly.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, there's that.
But I'm saying is for horror movie, and she's not given much to do in Wolfman except be the girlfriend, like cowering and whatever. But here
she ties the movie together.
Yeah. Her performance is amazing. Like I listening to the Housemaid books by Frida McFadden, which are she's uneven, but I can't not picture Julia Garner in that role. And now I hear Sydney Sweeney is going to be in it. And I'm like, no, thank you.
But just the whole part of the beginning, one is just Julia Garner's character. Just her in her house is creepy.
Yeah.
Because the town wants to, you just don't know what they're going to do to her.
You're expecting the door to, come off its hinges at any moment.
And, and the way the way he presents that is great. Because then when you find out kind of what happened, it's less scary, but it's still I don't know. I just
Another little unexplained element. She has a nightmare too, where she sees Gladys. She sees Amy Madigan in a dream in in her most terrifying form.
The Technicolor Babadook.
Oh, wow.
Because she looks just like the Babadook in the scenes when she's hanging off the ceiling. Like, oh my God, is that the Babadook? Oh my
Terrifying.
God, is this a backdoor sequel to the Babadook?
well, and Brolin sees her in a dream too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the junkie sees him, or sees her in this forest, and
he actually sees her.
Yeah.
Or I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is top 10 for me.
I would rank it. I mean, it's not Life of Chuck or Sinners, but it's like in the below tier, I would say.
As of right now, it's number 3 because those two are number 1 and number 2, and this is number 3. But we are at the point of the year where I can't see much coming to like take any of those 3 down. Although, this week, who knows? But I just, oh my God, I told everybody about it this weekend. I was just like, go see Weapons. Don't even look at the cast list because I didn't know who was in it.
I didn't know Amy Madigan was in it.
I saw Julia Garner from behind. I'm like, but she seemed really tall, so I thought, oh, maybe it's Mackenzie, what's her face from the Terminator movie and the House of
Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis, yeah. I thought maybe it was her because she just seemed really tall in this, and I kind of thought it was her, and then I saw her face. I was like, okay, great. Took me a minute to recognize Alden Ehrenreich with the mustache, and Amy Madigan. It took me until she was actually sitting down and talking to Benedict Wong and his boyfriend. I was like, who? Why does she look so familiar?
Yep, I did this.
Why does she? God, why does she look? Who is that? And then I was like, oh my God, that's Amy Madigan. I haven't seen her in anything in years.
Performance of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
And effortlessly eerie. When she goes to meet Benedict Wong to talk about the kid, Alex, in place of the parents, because the parents are at home with fork stabs in their face. Which is goddamn.
Another fantastic scene.
Man, that's fucked up.
Do you want me to make your parents eat each other? Because I can do it.
Oh God.
I'm like, oh, she will actually do that, won't she? She will actually make them eat them in front of their fucking kid.
And a shout out to that little narrator. She was fantastic. Yeah. That voiceover is just so it gets under your skin, especially at the end.
Yeah, and when she's when that started and that was going on, I'm like, is this a movie that is so bad that they have to have a narrator throughout telling you what's going on? And then, like, after, the first scene, she's gone until the end. And I was like, oh, I didn't even remember that she was there because it's so, like, it just makes you pay attention. And I'm so mad. I want to see it again. I might actually see it tomorrow because I had to pee so bad that I was like, I got to get up. And it was when Alden Ehrenreich was chasing the junkie.
Oh.
And I'm like, I got to go see it again because I want to see it all the way through. I didn't recognize June Diane Raphael until later.
I waited for the credits to make sure that was her.
She was also in
Freakier
Friday. She was in both movies.
2 movies. She had the best weekend ever. And I love her. I just love her.
I do too.
Well, again, like there's a lot of this for me. What my love of this movie comes down to the pure technique of Zach Cregger, the way he uses the camera. Like we see Julia Garner go into this store. She's an alcoholic. She's fallen off the wagon after having all of her students disappear and the town blame her. So she started drinking again, and she's slept with Alden Ehrenreich, who is a friend of hers, who is also an alcoholic, who's now also off the wagon a little bit because of her. And then June Diane Raphael is dating Alden Ehrenreich. And
she's like,
we see her,
and he's like 30.
It's
great.
We see Julia Garner in this grocery store, in this alcohol, what do they call it? Liquor store. Thank you. And they do it first with June Diane Raphael's character, where she sneaks up behind her, and you see this presence coming up from behind her, and it's like a terrifying It Follows moment. And then he repeats it with Benedict Wong just a scene later, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Well, and in a way that doesn't even really matter in the movie. Like, you could have cut that, but the fact that he didn't is actually kind of cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The way he connects
Right.
Alden Ehrenreich to Julia Gardner. I mean, there's nothing that you could say that would make it necessary that that relationship exists.
Yeah.
Per se, but they do all end up in the same place at the same time at the end. But like, you could totally lift maybe Alden Ehrenreich's character out of this. I wouldn't, because I think I find everything he does is just watchable. But
the scenes with him and the junkie,
yeah,
well, they're almost, I don't want to call them distractions from, but you just kind of, in like a whodunit movie, which this is not, but they're always setting you up to try to think of different things.
It was very much a Stephen King kind of story, where Stephen King will introduce 20 characters in the first few chapters, and then they all end up at the end having something to do with it. And I mean, very few characters in this but they all end up and all play a part in the end of it. And when the junkie kept just getting up, and I was like, oh my God, kill him all. I was getting a little annoyed by him. I can't imagine how I would have been in the room,
But like when you're even watching the little girl at the beginning of the narration, you're supposed to be thinking. So all this is getting you to focus on something else all the time, when in reality it's just a simple witch story. If it's that, which it appears to be. But again, I don't know. I just love the mind tricks he's pulling with the way when he gets you to focus over here, and like you said, the technique, it really makes this movie, and the performances, of course.
It's brilliantly constructed. I mean, really, it's a great story on top of it. It's one of those things that's got you searching every frame for something you might have missed, which is one of my favorite things to do. But it's also one that rewards your attention to what's happening in front of you. The way that the intricacy with which she weaves the story of the junkie with Alden Ehrenreich leading to finding the kids, because the junkie breaks into the house and finds the kids in the basement, but he can't go to the cops because Alden Ehrenreich told him, if I see you, I'm going to fucking kill you.
And then he wants the reward, so he's like, I'm just
gonna go. And then,
but don't forget, the narration is 17 kids never to be seen again.
Right. Yeah. Which is fucking with you, because
well, because she's telling it like it's an urban legend.
Which is kind of
and
the whole thing is an urban legend type story.
And then you get to the point where, okay, they find the kids, but that's not, when you're telling an urban legend, that's not, you don't tell them the real story. You tell them a version of it, and that's what she's doing, and that's what I liked about that.
Right,
was,
exactly.
That great, just almost throwaway line. Some of them started to talk again.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck.
And then the credits.
Yeah.
And then I get, that was dumb. Fuck you.
I take it your wife didn't like it then.
I think I don't know. We were, like I said last time, we were still moving, and she's just busy, and she's very much like a Final Destination person more than a very straight. Again, nothing wrong with those movies. I don't personally like them, but there's that style of movie that she loves, Conjuring type movies, ghost story shit. I'll like it once in a while, but then when you start to get oversaturated with it, I want something new. And this just felt new. Sinners felt new. Don't bring her, whatever it was, bring her back. New.
How am I can't even figure out how to
Together, which I watched again this week.
Yeah.
And I take back what I said about Dave Franco last week.
Wow.
I enjoyed it much better the second time because I got what he was doing. So yes, but all these really interesting.
Yeah, bring her back though. I guess I keep forgetting about it, and now I got to place that with this one. Yeah. And it's like those two are really close to each other. I think and that one.
Technique in this one's a little better,
perhaps,
in my opinion, because I've seen them both fairly. And I've also seen in theater matters. I've seen them on TV, but you're right. No, there's things in that though that are pretty, like when they just kill off what's his name. So like, what the fuck? He's like the main character. No, I suppose you're right. That is obviously they're both up there for me pretty easily because I have only seen like 4 movies this year. But
Bring Her Back is one that I just keep coming back to. It just keeps kind of rising back up in my mind. Like, oh yeah, Bring Her Back. He bites the knife. Oh.
My balls are in my chest when thinking about that.
So I have might have to have back surgery because I have a drop foot issue. And at the time I was actually in pain. And when that scene happened, all the pain, just all the nerves just started throbbing. And I was like, why is this? How is that possible?
Wow.
I just right down the sciatic, all the way down to my calf.
Oh, damn.
It's ridiculous. Just probably from me going like this.
Just twisting it. Yeah, because that's the reason I am sitting in the position I am in right now, is because I have my back pain is flaring up from when I hurt my back years ago. But I didn't think about it once during Weapons, because I was just like so engrossed in it, and I had worked all day, like 10 hours or 8 hours, and sat in a car for an hour, and then I went to see that, and I was just like, I was in pretty much like agony all day. And I sat there and I watched this movie and I didn't think about it once.
I had seen the trailer one time and I knew that it was that and Eddington, the two movies that I needed to see this year.
Yeah.
And but then I forgot about Weapons until Eddington. I think they played the trailer again. And then I forgot about it till you said you saw it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's this weekend.
Yeah.
So I made sure I got out.
You know, I got to say, I love the fact that this movie is proof that you don't have to give away everything in the fucking trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
wait, anything.
They give away zero things in this trailer. And he was very specific about it. And I've said it all the time. Like, people got on me back when we started the show about complaining about trailers. And it's like,
and then they bitch and they say, I saw this movie already in the trailer.
And it's like, because I would talk about the marketing campaigns all the time because I hated the marketing campaigns. And oftentimes directors don't get the chance to be part of the marketing campaign. Thankfully, he took control of this marketing campaign and said, this is how we're going to do this. Don't tell anybody anything. People weren't talking about Amy Madigan being in this movie until this weekend.
Yeah, I had no idea. Again, I avoided it because it was our cousin Chris who said, are you going to see this movie called Weapons? Because I know I talked about this a couple weeks ago where somebody said, you're going to see this movie? And I'm like, I haven't even heard of it. And I said, you know what? Because she said it was the commercial for it was so scary, I don't even want to watch a trailer. I just want to go in completely blind. And then when we talked about it last week a little bit, I was like, yep, I'm 100% blind. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about. And I'm so glad.
Yeah, I saw this one trailer, whatever, the 30-second, whatever. I knew Julia Garner was in. I knew James Brolin. That was it. Didn't know anything else.
And Josh Brolin, by the way, just the performance is so good. He's so good. Yeah. I just adored everything that he did. I liked that they gave him like the kind of the detective arc of trying to figure out what way the kids went. And he's like, I thought that was great. The little details about his life, like him and his wife sleeping in different rooms, and his, just the little touches about his business kind of falling apart behind him. Yeah. Because he's so focused on trying to find what happened to his son. I thought that was just his dedication to that. And then there's this wonderful thing where he's been kind of aggro, like angry towards Julia Garner, and then he's the one who steps in to save her from Benedict Wong. And then whatever happens to Benedict Wong, the performance just to set up to get to that is so amazing because he's so gentle and so kind.
Yeah, he's like
oh man,
he's the one who's trying to save her from herself.
Yeah.
And then he should be saving her from himself.
And see the deeper meaning of that.
And like just back to the weapon above. I mean, even the name weapon.
Yeah. What does that even mean for this?
And honestly, if it was a school shooting metaphor, whatever, that would have probably been kind of weak and eye rolling at this point. But it just goes away. You never think about it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple like kind of throwaway references to it that like I said, I think they're almost like red herrings. Like there's like one that's like the Maybell Strong, like referring to, they've got a big memorial outside the school, and then of course the AR-15 in the sky. But that's it.
even
That's it.
17. Just happened to be randomly when she lit the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, people are like, it's just biblical verse. But I'm like,
well, it's the witching hour. Well, actually, it's 3 a.m., but still.
it really doesn't. It's just all, I don't know, just really good at playing with your head. And it's just a neat trick. And I like it. I love
the fact that it did so well means we're going to get more from Zach Cregger. And I'm really happy about that.
Important part. Yeah.
Because like he's done 2 really strong movies in a row. I just hope he's not an Ari Aster.
I'm still on board with did you listen to the Mark Maron?
Yeah, I did.
Have you listened to it?
No.
The way he describes what he was trying to accomplish with Beau Was Afraid is my favorite thing I've ever heard.
What did he say?
He said ever since he was a teenager, he wanted to make this complicated 3.5 hour movie that the payoff is a giant dick.
I'm like, oh, I finally understand everything about it now.
And he goes, I kind of regret that now.
You shouldn't. That movie's amazing.
Well, I think, because it flopped and lost.
Sure.
I think, but I do feel like he said it was finding its audience. I feel like people are talking about it more now that it's on HBO and whatever else.
That's good. What did he say about Eddington? Did he explain it?
Yeah, the more I get away from it, the more I like it. We didn't even talk about certain things in that movie.
It's very true.
Like the whole data center stuff, we never even brought up.
Yeah, that was a weird part of it. The data center.
That was the central part of it. And
it was the MacGuffin of the movie. This is what everybody's going after, and everybody's motive is.
Everything else is a distraction from that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were and it was kind of him saying, he said that it's kind of the powers that be distracting you from this big thing so they can slip it under the rug.
It is actually dangerous and going to destroy what's left of the water in New Mexico.
Yeah. They're actually, what's weird is just saw that movie and then now they're lobbying to put one in Arizona.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Think of how much water you need to use to cool a data center down.
You can't put that in Arizona.
Putting in Arizona?
For fuck's sake. Oh my God.
In order for them to have AI work, they're going to be popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
The hope is that the data centers will teach us how to cure global warming.
Can they teach us how to make water?
Time.
Right? And something about not being able to use salt water or something I heard.
Really? Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, yeah, we're going to just,
Elon Musk says we can, so we must.
Oh, well, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, we just did Waterworld on the 95 show, and like, it's like Kevin Costner was like a prophet.
Right?
The world will be nothing but salt water in the future.
In the future with no way to desalinate it. We already kind of know how to do that now.
Well, no, he knew how to do that because he drank his own pee.
Well, don't you?
I mean, I'm gonna have to learn here pretty soon,
right? When Nestle owns all the fresh water in America.
So, sorry, should we be having this conversation in front of a man who sells hot tubs?
Let's talk time machines.
Kind of like full bathtub. It's totally random. Are you having to watch those long ass Kevin Costner movies he's making?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Thank God. No, I missed Horizon. Yeah, they skipped theaters, and I'm not even sure if he's making Horizon 2 now after Horizon 1.
I thought I heard he had made it.
Maybe. I think they're going to show it on Fox Nation.
Oh, okay.
I might not be joking about that. I don't know.
It'll be a double feature with whatever that Zachary Levi movie is, the inspiration of mine that I saw. But I walked out of the trailer.
Harold and the Purple Crayon? No.
Harold and the Magical Negro.
The one where God cures autism.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's RFK.
Well, if I could do the entire podcast as RFK without losing my voice completely, I would do it 1 week just to fuck with people.
Just to make him turn it off. So
Yeah.
make him go.
I've been so distracted by his awful voice. I never noticed how bad his teeth are. Like he does not. He's very serious about that chlorine and all that shit. He's very fluoride. He's terrified of it. He won't go anywhere near. No brushing your teeth. Nothing. It's a good thing he's in charge of our health.
What the Onion had the headline today or yesterday or whatever. Kennedy curse taking a sweet ass time with Robert Jr.
It's only for the successful Kennedys.
Yeah,
the evil Kennedys can last for a while, as Ted sort of demonstrated.
I don't think a couple of them were all that great. But
they were better than it's degrees.
Yeah, I mean, there's degrees of badness.
Have you seen Mark Maron's new stand-up special?
No, not yet.
He's he starts the whole thing off with, "I'm doing great." He said we'd be doing great again, and I'm. But then he's like, then he goes into, "We got the worst Kennedy, and they're all flawed pretty substantially, and we got the worst one in charge of our health."
I would rather have Rosemary Kennedy, the one they lobotomized.
She'd be better about health, I think. She might brush her teeth.
Right?
Yeah, my wife is very involved. She's actually went to Washington, D.C. because obviously the education thing. Her job is, I don't know why, I'm sorry for wasting the movie podcast, folks.
Welcome to the 95 podcast. This is all we do.
Her job is, she wasn't special ed, and now she's started her own business, and they help transition kids out of high school into the next, whether it's college or whether it's the real world or whatever. So obviously it's, the curriculum's called transition. So that is a bad word now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The other thing is inclusion, another horrible word. Her whole entire industry. Like, so we literally have transition seminars. And so when they sit here and say that they're trying to, this is what they're talking about when they're using these transition seminars to say it's about this. I'm not even joking.
I don't think they're joking.
It's insane.
Yeah. Oh God.
Welcome to our educational transition.
I mean, I've seen it I went to one in Lansing, Michigan, because my wife's traveling all the time, going to this, and they're literally having to educate people. It's not the same. Like, they're debating changing the word because that's how stupid it is.
It's so dumb. I really think your wife shouldn't have chose the acronym DEI either. That was a really bad idea.
But they've gone and gotten training on how to kind of lobby and all this. They went to Washington. They sat in on some of the House things. I don't know. Interesting for her, I guess, but it's just kind of, I don't know. The whole world's fall apart.
Can they just call it integrations, where they're integrating people into society?
No, they hate that too. They hate that even more, actually.
They think
that reminds them of Trump's youth, is when he fought against integration. I don't know if they know that.
Just call it something wildly offensive.
Well, I would say you could call it pedophilia, but they love that.
You might get funding for that one.
Well, maybe.
Tell them to call it Epstein Island and they'll get funded like that.
But then you'll lose all the Trump supporters.
Oh, damn it.
That's all they care about.
We can't win.
Others, that's kind of how it is.
Any final thoughts on Weapons?
It's very good.
It's an incredible movie.
Yeah. Top 5 for sure this year.
Yeah.
Top 5.
It's so awesome.
I'd like to, I'm looking forward to 4 or 5 years from now. Is this a movie I keep looking back at? And
yeah. I think it's one that I can, a lot of times I'll have, just something on in the background that's a movie if I'm not listening to an audiobook or whatever. And I have a feeling that this is one that I will fall asleep to.
Oh, really?
Because there's certain movies that I just like Zodiac. I love falling asleep to Zodiac. Because it's long, I set my timer for 3 hours and, I wake up to go to the bathroom and it's still on and, but and when I lived in New York City and my apartment got broken into, I could not watch Zodiac. Because when I was a little kid, the Zodiac scared the shit out of me. And because it was never solved. And then my dad's friend, I thought was a Zodiac killer because he was so scary looking. And he looked like Clint Howard.
No.
As the ice cream man. Okay, so very specific Clint Howard.
Yes.
And so the Zodiac always scared me, but then, I was fascinated by it. So that's why I love that movie so much, especially the director's cut. I could watch the director's cut all the time. But when I got broken into, I could not watch that movie. The Hurdy-Gurdy Man song, freaked me out. Could not do it until I moved back to Chicago. That and The Strangers, the original The Strangers.
The one I like?
Yeah.
I don't go off on an island on that one. Oh, good.
No, I like that. I like the first one.
Awesome.
The only one.
And I actually like the second one. Now that I've watched it again.
I haven't watched it again.
Yeah, I don't like the new one.
Like it at the time, but
yeah, I don't like the new one, but I do like that the scene in the pool where you're listening to I think We're Alone Now, I think is the song. And
the cool thing, I mean, the reason I like Strangers because one, I think it's good, but two, the theatrical experience was amazing. But the same thing with Weapons, that was what, hearing audiences visibly or audibly be uncomfortable. It's not cheap. Like the jump scares where you hear the big music cue more than the people's jumping.
Yeah,
is not as cool as this, where it's just kind of quiet and uncomfortable, and it just kind of was uncomfortable a lot about the movie. Almost to the point where when she came up on screen, it stopped being as, I don't know, it almost like it shifted tones because she was just, it's hard to explain, but I don't know. I just love the games he was playing with us.
Yeah. It's the way he uses Amy Madigan's character is a whole other thing. Like building up how grotesque she is as a elderly dying woman, representing like all of your fears of aging and whatnot. And then you do get to see a little bit of her without that wig on. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then
that are Courtney Cox fans from Scream 3.
And then she's got, when she's in the full makeup, like that great scene where she's going to see Benedict Wong and you just see her image coming across this window that you can't see through, stained window. And then the way his secretary is reacting to her, like, this crazy fucking bitch is here.
And she's just staring at her. Like,
they'd bring her in the office.
Yeah.
But just think of how much could go wrong. As an actress, she has to trust him to not make her look like a complete idiot.
Right.
He has to, there's so easily could have turned into a bad Nick Cage movie, which we all love for different reasons, but it works perfectly.
I mean, to be fair, she is Amy Madigan, and I've watched her my entire life act her ass off, and so to see her as only like this, like a straight up horror movie, doing that, I was completely like, as soon as she opened her mouth in that first scene with Benedict, I was just like, oh, absolutely. It's not, she's not the Babadook in Technicolor. She's actually a human being, maybe. And
well, I mean, like in that scene, like she does look like people you've seen.
Yeah.
Like pushing a shopping cart on the side of the road. the lipstick on the outside of the lips and on the teeth somehow.
I've heard theories that she's hundreds of years old.
Yes.
And the best part of none of it really matters.
Yeah.
The movie says nothing, gives you nothing about that.
But I could see, like, she could be hundreds of years old and you could do a prequel to it, like where it's her in different personas or something. I don't know if I would want
I would
that.
worry about that because it could come back and affect my
Yeah.
Unless somebody else did it and it was unrelated to him.
In a completely different style.
With a completely different name.
Right?
I
don't want Weapons 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I don't want it explained to me.
No, I this is one of those movies like Sinners that I don't need a sequel to. I don't need a sequel to, Together. These are movies that I don't need a sequel to Hereditary or anything, these perfect horror movies.
Midsummer.
Yeah. I don't need to see Danny the May Queen every year, like throwing people off a ledge or something. And, unless it's in 50 years and she plays the old woman and I don't know. But even then, I'll be dead, so I
won't. Oh, yeah. No, like I said, I love reading into movies. It's my favorite thing. Like, I love writing things about, picking out images and interpreting what they mean. And I don't think he's opposed to that idea, but I don't think he sees it as necessary for this. I don't think he's mocking anyone who wants to read into it. He's inviting you to take whatever you want from it, kind of like what Ari Aster does. Take what you want from here it is, take what you want from it.
Well, no, it's Perkins, too. He's making straight up movies that they don't need to be, dissected to be enjoyed. They can be, like Longlegs could definitely be. But The Monkey doesn't need to be. No. That was just a good fucking movie. It was a good fucking time.
Man. That one, I want to see.
You got to see that one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's back to whenever it comes time to pick a movie. It's movies I want to see and the movies.
I'm telling you, Bob, you work here. You live way the far away. Just go after work someday. Go see a movie by yourself. You'll love the experience.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's just now it's more the having to pick up a kid, having to do this. That's
they can walk.
Not more. You live so fucking far away from it.
They can walk.
Remember, you went uphill both ways back as a kid. 45 miles.
Yeah, now my daughter's going to college, so I'll lose one of my extra drivers.
Oh.
We'll see how it all.
That's the sentimentality that I'm sure she appreciates.
Oh, great. I'm not losing it. I'm not losing a daughter. I'm losing a driver.
I'm losing that extra driver, David.
He's like, he has drum lessons in Davenport Mondays, basketball in Davenport Tuesdays, basketball in Davenport Thursdays. We live in Viola, just 30 minutes away. Goes to Sherrard, back to Viola. Sherrard's 15 minutes, so it's just all.
How old is he?
He's 13. I'll be 14.
Okay, well, he can get a school permit next year, right?
I don't think so. Not no.
Oh.
But anyway.
So
this is good.
We do have a classic. We'll get to that in a second. I wanted to surprise you guys with my having seen what I think is the worst movie of the year. So you're familiar with The Greasy Strangler, right? Are you?
Yeah, I've met those guys at cons.
They've got a brand new movie. The director of The Greasy Strangler has a brand new movie out called Ebony and Ivory.
Oh, I saw your. Yeah.
Have you heard about this movie?
No.
Ebony and Ivory is ostensibly about the creation of the song Ebony and Ivory. A guy plays a Paul McCartney character and another guy plays a Stevie Wonder character. And they gather at a Scottish Cottage. That's how that's how they say it the entire movie. Scottish Cottage. The entire time.
Jesus.
With that effort every time. And it's just this sort of, you think it's going to go up in grotesquerie throughout, get more and more like that, but it doesn't go anywhere. And I don't know what it is that they're trying to do. I get that they probably hate the song, Ebony and Ivory, which is fine. I don't care. Hate Ebony and Ivory, whatever. Fine. It's not a great song. It's a fine message, not a great song. But this is almost like being angry at the song's creation. Because I don't know if he has a really negative opinion or Stevie Wonder, or maybe they're not even trying to be Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney.
Oh, so they're okay. I was going to say they didn't get rights to Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney. But
no, but that's who they are. Because they're creating the song and they're each talking about what brilliant rock stars they are. And Paul keeps talking about his wife's vegan fried food line. Just goes on for scene on scene on scene. There's an entire sequence where Stevie Wonder nearly drowns, and then he requests that Paul McCartney makes him a specific kind of hot chocolate. It has to be made this way. So he lists all the ingredients and the way the ingredients have to be put together. So then Paul goes and gets them, and then we watch him assemble it as was asked. We have to sit there and watch him assemble it, and then take it to him, and then watch him drink it. And then he's mad because the chocolate wasn't exactly made as I instructed. I don't know if you know this. I'm a musical legend.
No, I don't think I can watch that movie. So I'm going
to spoil it for you. The movie ends with them just sort of staring off into this field where there are these two sheep. There's a white sheep and a black sheep. One of them, the white sheep has Paul's face, and the black sheep has Stevie Wonder's face. And then the sheep just start pissing and shitting and baying Ebony and Ivory over and over again. And that's the end of the movie.
Oh, God, I loathe to think about what they're going to do with Say.
It's the worst movie of the year. I don't understand it at all. I don't know what was intended to be funny.
It sounds like they tried to make the worst movie of the year.
Like, are we talking MSTK 3000?
Here's the thing, like, it's going to defy you to, like, because I know that, like, they could say, well, he just didn't get it. I know that's the filmmakers are going, no, obviously, if you didn't like it, you just didn't get it. You don't get my vision. I know you get it, like the Greasy Strangler thing, right? That was all about just, like, making something so grotesque that, like, people loathed it. Like, that was the point.
Right.
And I guess that maybe that's the point here, but it's not as grotesque as that movie.
God, that sounds awful.
Miserable. The 15th time he says Scottish Cottage. It's like,
I'm so glad I'm never going to ever see that movie.
So it didn't come to theaters. Why did you have to watch it?
They sent me a screener and said, hey, watch this. And I'm like, all right. And I got clicks on it, so.
That's all that matters.
Clicks is important.
Flicks and dicks. That's my whole life. Not in that order. So should we talk about our classic?
Sure, why not?
Originally I was just going to say, let's do the Freaky Friday.
This is the wrong weekend to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I got to tell you right now. Bob, have you seen Bloody Birthday?
Yeah. Bloody Birthday is this story actually, this was released on my birthday, my 9th birthday. So you can do the math on how old I am. It's the story of 3 kids born at the same time during a solar eclipse.
Prematurely.
And they all come back 10 years later as murderous little children. And Lori Lethin, which her name just makes me laugh because it sounds like lecithin, the whatever vitamin or whatever. So every time I see it, I'm like, Lori lecithin.
I was thinking Lori Loughlin.
Yeah. And then her little brother, played by one of the kids from the Amityville Horror, and Julie Brown's breasts. Not downtown Julie Brown.
The redheaded Julie Brown.
Yeah, the homecoming queen's got a gun, Julie Brown. And these kids murder people in the neighborhood, parents. They look
sort of inexplicably. Like, it just starts happening. Like, when it's on their birthday, it's almost their birthday, and they just, like, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill the sheriff and bash his head in with a bat, and even though that's her dad, that little girl's dad.
and literally no explanation whatsoever why they're doing it, other than they were born during a solar eclipse. The Lori Lecithin, she is into astrology, so that she kind of figures out what's going on, but it doesn't even really matter.
I think you'd probably laugh at this guy, like, why don't they just punch that little shit in the face?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, you know, there are other, and I'm kicking myself for not picking a better Killer Kids movie, but it's literally sitting right behind you.
I don't think you want to watch a Killer Kid movie the weekend you watch Weapons.
Yeah.
Because it's just not going to hold up.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, this is just kind of sleazy and cheap, and it's fine. I'm sure at any other weekend this might be kind of impressive, but I just watched Weapons. This is nothing.
Yeah.
It has Billy Jacoby, who you've seen from everything in the 80s. He was the brother in Just One of the Guys. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he played the smarmy brother. He was on the Golden Girls. Played Blanche's grandson. He was all over the 80s.
I know him as Parker Lewis's best friend.
Yeah.
On Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Yeah.
I can be smug about Parker Lewis.
Oh, I shut down a bar with him before. So.
Wow. Parker Lewis?
Yeah.
That's cool.
The first time I did Dark History and HorrorCon, me and Corin Nemec and John Dugan played Grandpa on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We shut down the hotel bar and they argued about politics. I sat there and watched and argued a little bit. John is more, he makes me look like Mitch McConnell. That's how liberal he is. Corin Nemec is a little more, I don't want to say nuanced because I don't think he's very nuanced, but
wow.
He is a little more conservative, but he does, whatever. But yeah, he was telling us stories about that show, and
he kept all the shirts, right?
He's very, very, very nice guy though. Like he came up to my booth. He's like, "Hey, we didn't get one last night. Can we get a selfie?" I'm like, "We got one last night. You just don't remember."
I need to start going to those.
Yeah.
My son's getting to the age where we used to go to this music festival every year. We took him last year. As soon as he walked in the gate, guy decided to dress like Art the Clown. This starts at noon, ends at midnight. So it's a commitment.
Yeah.
My son runs right to never seen the Terrifier movie, just knowing who he is. Gets a picture with the guy, sees him vaping later on in the day, and it ruins the whole thing. But we went and saw Ice Nine Kills, the metal band, who all their songs are
Friday the 13th
are based on horror movies.
Yeah.
And they're the newest ones. Terrified us to close with, and on the way back to the car, he was just talking how he met Arthur. Kind of like, I mean, he's 13, so he knows better,
right?
And then he's like, well, "I'd like to meet the real guy who played the Grinch too, right?" I'm like, we need to start going to these things.
Well, I have one coming up next month in September in at the Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge, Illinois. That's moved from the city to Park Ridge because the Pickwick is a historic theater. They're going to show just announced Prom Night, the Jamie Lee Curtis Prom Night with the director will be there. Godzilla. There's going to be a David Lynch tribute. So I'm not sure which movie he's going to show or whatever, but there's also a haunted house with Buster Keaton with a live organ.
Oh, wow.
So, and then October in Ottumwa, Iowa is Halloween-a-Palooza, which they're doing a Fright Night reunion. So the 3 main cast members from that, the kids are all going to be there. They haven't announced Chris Sarandon, but I'm really hoping they do. And then November is Days of the Dead, which I'll have an extra wristband if you want to come to that. That's in Rosemont, Chicago. That's going to be a big one for me because Sean S. Cunningham, the director of Friday the 13th, is going to be there. Veronica Cartwright from The Birds, and my favorite science fiction movie of all time is the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and in large part because of her. She's so good in that movie. She'll be there. So I'm like, I got to do this. I have to do it. And I came this close to not being able to pay my rent that month that I bought that. But, just a lot. There's going to be a bunch of people from Friday the 13th, Part 8. Kelly Hu is going to be there. The kid that played young Jason. So I'll have my poster signed.
The thing that he doesn't watch, and he claims he's seen Terrifier 1 and 2, but I remember watching The Departed with him, and he was like this. So I don't know. Now there's a couple years apart, and when you're that young, it does matter. But because of this band, he knows some of these songs are better than the movies. Like the Chucky song is way better than the Child's Play. And the Pet Cemetery song, I'm not a Pet Cemetery.
I would argue that the violence of The Departed is way worse than any horror movie. Because at least in a horror movie, but like in The Departed, like when Martin Sheen gets thrown off of the roof, or
in Heat, he was like that,
or like fucking, but that scene where DiCaprio gets shot, like it's just so out of nowhere. It like kicked off that whole series of things where it's just the series of movies where you have no idea the violence is just going to happen at any moment.
We do have a new con coming to the Quad Cities. It's a Quad City Fright Con. And that's going to be as part of the Quad City Toy Show in conjunction with them in December. So
I need to go. like the Quad Cities needs the people to show up to their shit.
Yeah.
We're so bad at that.
Yeah, we really do. Because the Quad City Toy Show, I gave Paige Turco a ride from O'Hare to this con, and she made a guarantee. She was busy, and the whole time she, had a line. But Sunday on that show, Sunday was super, super slow. And the Quad Cities always says, we want stuff to do, but when you do, they don't go. So,
Yep.
so yeah, I'm just, that's why I would love to do this full time, but traveling and all that is expensive. And honestly, I love doing the shows here because I don't have to spend the money to travel. We've got Planet Funk Con here. I don't ever really do well at those kind of shows because those are anime shows. But, with the QC Horror Con or Fright Con coming up, I'm all for that. And offline, I can give you a little background on that one and tell you, who they're trying to get. But
oh yes,
yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one if it happens. So.
Because we've invested in the meeting bands and stuff like that, but I think it's more for me than him. And I had already met most of them when we used to do Zoics together years and years ago. And I just think he's more into the movie. And plus YouTube, you can know everything about a show without ever seeing it, which I don't love. But it is fun to every now and then get him to watch something. So
yeah.
And he is excited about weapons, but I didn't think he could handle it, so I didn't. Maybe reason to go see it this week again.
I'm actually, I want to go. Tomorrow we're recording this on a Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and at Cinemark it's 5:50, and they always have a busload of old people come in, and they park them in a movie theater and watch whatever movie. And I was really hoping it's Weapons.
It's still one of my. I think we might have drove you back home. We went to Under the Skin, and that row of old people just got up and left. What the fuck is this?
I did have somebody did walk out of Weapons the other night. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a lady. I don't know if she was there by herself or she just didn't want to sit with, but she walked out and she's kind of shaking her head. And I'm like, love to talk to her after, but she's long gone.
So. I had the best audience for Weapons there. Like all the kids walking out of Weapons on the Thursday screening I was at, they were just running with their arms down.
Yeah, I was walking. I was kind of walking with this couple, and I went into the bathroom with the dude, and I go, "What did you think of that?" He goes, "I thought that was one of the best movies I think I've ever seen, and my girlfriend fucking hated it because she was so scared." And I was like, "Well, she should love it because she's scared." He's like, "That's what I said." But it did exactly what it was supposed to.
It is the thing. There's definitely times where my wife was like, kind of did the getting scared thing, and she loves to be scared. So I don't know if she didn't feel like the payoff was enough, or the fact that none of it, I thought that didn't mean anything, but it didn't matter what it meant. I don't know if that bothered her or what, but it was just, because she couldn't figure it out and there's nothing to figure out. Sometimes she definitely is I don't get it, I hate it.
There's definitely like a part of me that could have sat here and just gone, well, this doesn't connect to this and this. Why was this here? And why was I could do that if I wanted to.
I tried. I went and looked to YouTube and tried to learn how to, what am I missing?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I kept kind of like losing interest in what they were saying. Like, but they're really fishing.
Yeah.
None of this, like, I get it with like Eddington that I get what those are more interesting to me. But this one, it didn't matter. Like none of it. It was just so creative, so well structured.
The week Together came out. I watched every review to get other people's takes on it, just to kind of get my mind around it. And this one, I'm like, I started doing that. I went through a couple channels that I really like, and I just stopped. At a certain point, this guy was just going on about how she's a 1,000-year-old witch, and maybe she's a member of their family, or maybe not. I was like, there's nothing of that in the movie, dude. That's just all you, buddy.
And still, we're Together. Did not like the last shot.
So what?
I know.
Still did not like the last shot.
I don't know. I don't know how Together other than this. What Dave Franklin and Allison Brie.
Yeah.
Is that good then? Or
he likes it a lot more than I do. I don't hate it. I think it's good. I think it could.
He directed it.
No, it was a first-time director from Australia.
I just know he directs a bunch of movies that they do together.
But it's a lot of body horror, so I mean, give it a shot.
Yeah, I think it.
Yeah, but after the substance is okay, you're gonna have to take a few years off.
Well, this is it's a movie about codependency. It's not it's not necessarily a movie about body horror, but there is some of that involved.
Oh, that's the thing. I would have loved to get your perspective on it, because like one thing I've taken away from hearing about you talk about your relationship with your wife is that you both have very like you love each other, you live together, but you have different lives where you're not entirely like one of you is defining the other.
Right.
And this movie is all about like he has nothing, she has all of the power in the relationship. He doesn't have a job. He relies on her for everything. They're moving to where she works. And it's like it's all about this like level of codependency as they're also like maybe cursed to be coming together physically.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really original story. Well, allegedly original story.
There's some controversy about that.
There's a lawsuit. You can listen to that. Yeah. But it's Bring Her Back, Together, Weapons, Sinners, all these movies that are just so original this year.
I would still say that 2024 still is better.
Well,
in terms of volume of great horror movies, I think last year had more volume. We've got a lot of really we've got a couple of the greats of all this one and Sinners and Bring Her Back. I can't off the top of my head like Late Night with the Devil. There was which didn't even make my top 10. Like literally, that's how great last year was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last year was.
You had the Sydney Sweeney nerd, Immaculate,
The Substance, Maxine.
Maxine, Long Legs was good.
Long Legs, yeah, there were so many great horror movies last year.
I didn't.
It was fine. It's just it was a little too moody for me. More mood than substance for me.
Cuckoo was last year, which was amazing.
I like that movie a lot. The only genre that is showing original, 100% original ideas is horror.
Well, that's Ari Aster and Martin talked about that is because they're more affordable to make. That's kind of why, he used horror to do those two movies and then do other things, and probably have to go back to horror now. Although I don't know how editing's doing or not doing.
Not doing great. Yeah. It's already on demand, I believe.
Yeah, I am the horror, that's my thing. Everybody knows that by now. So for me, I just I walk around with a boner all the time because I'm so happy. Figuratively.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
To get the movies that we've gotten the last 2 years that.
An incredible time.
There is so many types of horror fans, though. That's the other part, though. Like, my wife would say her favorite genre is horror, but at the end of the day, she hates slasher movies. She hates, it ends up just being the ghost shit, which was probably my least favorite thing.
Yeah,
I don't mind when it's done well.
Yeah.
But it's I need, similar to the body horror thing, is once someone knocks it out of the park, I don't need it for 10, 15 years. Because otherwise you're just regurgitating that.
Well,
if they use it like the way they used it Together, if they use it as
where it's not the
it's not just a body horror. It's not a David Cronenberg movie,
right?
But by the way, The Shrouds is amazing. That's a top 5 movie for me.
That was a good movie. We ate in the last 2 years. I hate talking like that, but it's like a feast for horror fans. And I've seen the discourse, it's woke or whatever on the Fangoria. If you ever want to see the worst of humanity, go to follow Fangoria on Facebook, because you get all the super conservative people who think they're horror fans because they have a Michael Myers tattoo, and they think that Friday the 13th is a conservative wet dream because they kill people who are having premarital sex.
I've been saying that for years.
No, I mean, it is a very conservative view, but that's not how most people watch it. But some of these guys really believe that. And anything that centers a woman, which almost all the horror movies out there center a woman, that centers her in a way that she's not being chased while wearing a bra with like 3-inch nipples, they fucking hate it. They're so pissed off because it's woke and it's it's an ideologues horror, and I hate that. Can't we get back to Freddy and Jason? Robert Englund would tell you to go fuck yourself, first of all, because he's like a huge feminist. It's just,
Yeah.
they don't understand
They don't.
fundamentally what horror movie is supposed to do. It's supposed to unsettle you. And just because you think that, a black protagonist in a Jordan Peele movie is too woke, horror doesn't have to have a message. Horror always has a message. You might not like the message because
But
it's
back to being unsettled. Once you see something enough times, it's not unsettling
Yeah.
anymore. So that's why you got to change it up.
Yeah.
That's why it can't be Freddy and Jason every time.
exactly.
That's why you see this. Now the slashers are back. Now the ghosts are back. Now the zombies are back. Now the vampires. It's always, right now you're getting a little more of everything, I think. But it is still cyclical based on being unsettled.
Well, and I think Ari Aster kind of started this cycle with Hereditary and Midsommar. The art house horror. I mean, really started with the Babadook. That kind of, it's a horror movie with an underlying message kind of thing. And then Get Out and Us, and Us doesn't get enough love either.
I like Us to Get Out.
I
Yeah,
just did
yeah, me
opening
too.
shots on Us not too long ago.
The fact that I always talk about how Mia Goth was robbed for Pearl and Toni Collette for Hereditary, but Lupita Nyong'o for Us,
Absolutely.
that was a masterclass in playing two separate characters who are the same, but completely, you can always tell until except at the beginning and at the end, you're not 100% sure.
Right.
But it's just, and the guys on Fangoria hate that kind of stuff because they don't understand it.
Right.
I want that girl to get killed with a knife in her silicone boobs. That's what they sound like.
But even like, because sometimes you need to go through that phase where it is unhappy endings, and then you need the phases where the final person wins. It's good to, basically when you start seeing the same thing, it's not, I don't know.
And there's been no more genre with more variety in the last couple of years than horror. And that is because you get the Scream, you get the, the stupid slasher movie, you get,
Then you get
God help us,
Ryan Coogler jump into the horror.
Yeah. You get, God help us, Winnie the Pooh or Bambi. All these IPs are turning 100, okay. You get that kind of shit. You get Terrifier, which is just gross for gross sake. And it's really kind of just a disgustingly bloody comedy.
You can tell he's having a blast making it, and that translates on the screen for most people.
But you get all these, and there's literally something for every kind of fan. Every kind of horror fan. I just, and people who watch a horror movie like us and don't see it as a horror movie, they see it as a dark drama.
It's a psychological thriller, not like horror is a bad word.
Silence of the Lambs, it's a horror movie. It's a fucking horror
one
movie.
Of the best ever.
The fact that some of these movies like Pearl, which is it's a horror twist on something like from the 30s, the fact that didn't get nominated for awards is disgusting because it's so good and it tells this story of this girl who, maybe it'll get maybe more people will see it because of David Corenswet playing Superman, because he, but just I get so mad because some of these movies are so much better than anything that's mainstream.
Very true. Well, don't bother with Bloody Birthday for like a couple of years, I would say. Just wait for your mind to kind of settle away from weapons, and maybe you can watch it and enjoy it.
It's not bad. It's just not bad. Yeah, it's
the wrong weekend.
It's fine. I only watch that and Happy Birthday to Me on my birthday.
Next week, we've got Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk. I just watched Nobody and wrote about it on Monday in Real Scope, and it's so good. I love Nobody
I've never
so
seen
much.
it. I've never
Really?
seen it.
I loved it. It's so great. You gotta see it. Nobody 2, and Eli Roth has some kind of thing coming out.
Mhm.
It's unclear if we're getting Spike Lee's new movie, Higher and Lower, with Denzel Washington, so we don't know if that's coming or not. So I have to wait and see. It's gonna be a weird weekend. Nobody 2 is the only new movie.
Yeah, I have to watch Nobody because I haven't seen it yet.
Highly recommend. Highly recommend. And it's on Prime right now, so definitely
Yeah.
get to it. I love Bob Odenkirk. I can't wait. I've been hearing amazing things about the what he put himself through to get into shape. He's 62 years old, doing this action movie stuff.
Yeah, and I just remember that during, like the height of the pandemic, when the first one, they advertised it everywhere, and then you're like, oh, you have to watch it on streaming because you can't go to the movie theater anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why I've never seen it. So
I made a point of it because I love Bob Odenkirk.
yeah,
If you haven't seen it, Melvin Goes to Dinner. We should do Melvin Goes to Dinner as a classic, actually. He directed that one back in 2002, and it's such a great movie. It's like a 4-person take on My Dinner with Andre in a way.
is it available?
It should be.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I love that movie. So that's next week. This week, Chris, just go see Weapons.
Yeah.
Again. See it again. Because if you're listening to this now, hopefully you've seen it already.
Yeah, I hope so, because otherwise...
Otherwise, you're not going to be as scared once he jumps in the car.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.